So today we're going to be talking about the benefits of genetically modified organisms. So to start, what are genetically modified organisms? Genetically modified organisms, or better known as GMOs, is a plant, animal, or microbe which has had one or more alterations made to its genotype using some type of genetic engineering. So the history of GMOs. Starting in 1886, two types of peas were mixed together, and the basic process of genetics was discovered. In 1922, the first hybrid of corn was produced and sold. In 1973, genetic engineering was developed from inserting one bacteria into another. In 1982, FDA approved the first GMO. In 1994, the first GMO produce was created, which was a consumer, and then in 1990, the first GMO produce became available for consumers to buy. And then so now, what are the benefits of GMOs? So one is the impacts it has to the environment. So to start is soil conservation. GMOs typically lead farmers to spend less time tilling the land. With less tillage, it leads to less erosion, improvements of water retention, and enhances soil structure by having more crop residue. Another one is expansion of agricultural lands. So with the increase in crop production with higher yields and less cost, GMOs can help make land more sustainable for farmers to produce on. This leads to more production being created on more land without the destruction of habitats or deforestation. Another thing it brings to the environment is it has a reduction of pesticide usage. So GMO crops can be engineered to be resistant to certain pests, along with being able to produce their own pesticides. This is creating a way for there to be a decrease in spraying harmful chemicals on crops. This reduction in pesticides helps with the environmental pollution, decrease in insect population, and maintains the ecological balance in agricultural ecosystems. It also has water conservation, meaning GMO crops are being produced to become water resistant or require fewer amounts of water. By maintaining agriculture productivity with less water usage, GMOs help alleviate pressure of freshwater resources and contributes to the sustainability management of water resources. And then another one is carbon footprint. So with less tillage needed and less pesticides needed to be used, it could contribute to a lower carbon footprint. And then moving on, we have sustainability. So as the population continues to increase, it is projected to reach around 8.5 billion by 2030, and then 9.7 billion by 2050. By having genetically modified crops, farmers can achieve higher yields of crop per acre, increasing agricultural production. This is necessary for the constant growth of the population. And then we also have nutritional benefits. So for example, increased vitamin content. GMOs can be produced to have higher counts in vitamins with the crops. For example, golden rice, which was created in 2004, and according to the University of Michigan, this crop alone can support 50% of your daily vitamin A. Another thing it has is improvements of protein quality. GMO can produce crops that have a higher yield protein quality, making them become more nutrients and beneficial to consumers. Another thing that GMOs bring is it improves economics. So for one is reduced production costs. GMO crops that are easier and less costly to farmers to grow. Since many of the plants are pest resistant and need less water and herbicides, it creates a way for farmers to have more production at a cheaper cost. This allows for consumers to be able to purchase and produce crops with fewer amount of money. It also creates more profit for large and small farmers Many genetically modified crops created have higher yields due to being more resistant to pests, disease, and stress. This allows farmers to have a higher production rate, thus bringing in more profit. And then there's also a support for rural economics. With GM technology thriving, agriculture sectors can be created and can contribute to economic development in rural towns. With the increase in agriculture production, more jobs can be created. It can stimulate local businesses and can improve the lives of the small farmers. In conclusion, genetically modified organisms are the future of agriculture. With the GM crops, farmers are able to produce more food with fewer acres. The environment would improve since there would be less pesticides used, less tillage of soil, and less water being used. And the economy would benefit as crops would become at a lower price, and farmers are able to bring in more profit since the crops have higher yields. So in total, purchasing GMO crops would become more beneficial than not producing GMO crops. So I highly recommend the next time you go into your grocery store, you look for the genetically modified organisms that would benefit you, the farmers, and the entire world. Thank you.